Welcome back, guys. So third try is a charm. It's about 1:30 Tuesday morning. I'm 12 to 8 tonight. At work, which means I get home at about 9 p.m. and I got to get up for work at 5:30 the next day. So I'm going to bed soon, and I'm not going to have a lot of time tonight. But what I've done is tonight, when I got home from work, I cleaned out this entire room. Now, you can't see it, I know, too much because it's awfully dark, but there used to be all crap there, if you remember. Pretty much everywhere, just littered, and I've pretty much cleaned up everything under there and sorted all my crap because I'm a hoarder. So I had to go through and get rid of a lot, but I'm pretty happy about that. Because I've decided I'm going to go through with this around the room thing. So basically, did that tonight. Tomorrow, if I feel like it, if I'm not too tired after work, or I want to spend half an hour, I'm gonna start ripping up track because it's not glued down or anything, so that's no big deal. Start undoing all my wiring. Now that's the nice thing about terminal stripping. I've soldered things to tortoise. But everything other than that is to terminal strips. And I've cut everything in 10 inch, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot sections. So they should be reusable. They're not wacky lengths, as you probably, you can see shadows. I do have things hanging down and they all go to terminal strips. I'm not soldering things together. So that kind of makes this easier. But anyways, throughout the week, basically, by Friday night, I want to, by Saturday morning, I want the legs off the table, the foam off the table, basically the wood ready to cut, the plywood ready to cut, the 2x4s ready to cut, that kind of thing. That's what I want. I'm going to probably need more 2x4s, and instead I'm probably going to go get 1x3s. And then with the 1x3s, I'm probably going to build the frame and use 2x4s specifically for legs. It's winter outside, it's minus 20, so I'll probably hook up a vacuum and try to cut in here, something like that, suck up all the sawdust. Anyways, I want to wrap this up pretty quick. So, draft 2. So you've seen draft 1. I really appreciate your guys' input. Something I really want to make you guys very aware of is, I know some people are really set in their ways. I know some people want to do it on their own and think that they're right, and off they go. I'm not one of those people, alright? I know I don't know everything. I know very little. I'm starting out in the hobby. I know that. So when I make a track plan, it's not perfect, I got some really great suggestions. A lot of things were actually brought to my attention that I overlooked. I really appreciate you guys giving me constructive criticism, because that's what I want. That's what I need. So basically, let's just look at the changes. Don't worry about the right side because that hasn't changed. The left side, I've moved the siding. Oh, it's not focusing. Anyways, there we go. I've made the siding longer so that I could fit more cars in, but also so that I could, it's a little more optimal for this this spur here. So that's only going to house about two cars, but that means if I've got a consist of four or five cars, I may be able to slip in there and drop one off, and I'm going to play with this a little more, but basically what that also lets me do is start the yard off a little more, which give the drill line, I believe it's called, more space, so that the switcher can kind of come out further to organize the consist without affecting the main line. Another thing I played with is the turntable. Again, this is going to be probably the Walther's motorized one. This is not. I think this is the Atlas manual crank. Anyways, couple spurs. There's going to be the fuel and a maintenance shed that I'm playing around with. Other than that, nothing has changed. I may switch these locations of these turnouts to both sides of the yard. Anyway, I basically I'm moving forward with this. Like I said, by Saturday morning, I want to kind of be ready. That way, if I want to get wood, then I can get wood on the weekend and kind of work on it as I go. I'm going to rush the bench work, and that's it. Once I get to the track laying and the road bed again, I'm going to slow down again, take my time, enjoy it, make sure everything's right. But, I'm going to rush the bench work just because it's winter. And, if there's a nice day, I might try to go outside and cut the wood. Or, if I have to do it in here, I want to just get everything over with so I can clean up. One thing I did want to mention is I know I said that I wanted to do things from the start correctly. And for the most part, I did with this layout. I learned a lot building this 4x8, getting input from all you guys. Thank you. But something I still did is I cut corners in such a way that it actually did affect the way my engines ran. I do have a lot of 6-axles, well, 2 6-axles that runs on my layout, and what I tend to do is, now here's a tiny example, so you'll see no gap, but there's a gap. Here there's both gaps. Here there's both gaps. Here there's no gap, but a big gap, and I did that to kind of fit larger radius curves in a smaller space. And what that does is that helps the train jump the track on tight turns like the ones in front of my Pico ones. And that causes problems. And I've decided, even if I have to buy more track, even if I have to custom cut all of my snap track or use flex track for everything else, I'll do it. I don't want that if I can avoid it. I know sometimes you can't, you're not always going to cut that perfectly, but I want it pretty friggin' close. Because I did it intentionally on this one, and I really regret that. Another thing I'm really loving about this around the room thing is down the road, I can raise it up, a foot or so, and cut a hole in that wall and have a helix and have another layer probably down for staging and whatnot. And more industries and whatnot. I think that's great. With, I guess I could have done it in this case, but it would have been a little weird. With this, down the road I can always just split off a turnout there and off you go. So I think that's pretty cool. Other than that, pretty much gonna pick away. I will be showing you guys quick drafts, hopefully. Obviously, my future draft videos, I guess I'll call them, will not be this long. Right now, I just kind of want to give you a game plan of, this week I'm going to try to rip up all the foam without damaging it if possible. This roadbed foam, I'm not worried about. It peels, no problem, even without water. This, I don't know. I used no more nails, and I'm going to have to look up that, and, maybe I just should drill up into the plywood a little bit, squirt some water around, let it kind of muster, and then pull it. I don't know. If I can't get it off, I can't get it off. But, you can see because I didn't weigh things down and clamp things down in the middle, it's not stuck down. There's a lot of play in there. It doesn't look too bad, but both sides are up, and I don't like that. So I'd like to resolve that, and if that means cutting everything and then, putting legs on it, getting it all even, and then taking the legs off just so I can clamp it properly, I'm going to do it. I've learned a lot from this 4x8 layout, a lot. But I still find myself not doing things correctly, and maybe not intentionally I was doing it, but I didn't think about that. I thought, well, if I put heavy enough things on, it'll be fine. Well, it wasn't, and I didn't know that, so now I do. Now I can correct it. That's about it. So far, no mice. I don't see any holes in the wall. No mouse droppings or anything. Just that chewed stuff. So I think maybe the cat got that mouse. Maybe they did now that I let them in the room. They probably snacked on it one day I was at work. Who knows? I'm going to keep my eyes open. Might set a trap or two. But I think having the cats in here, they're pretty good to sniff the mouse out. Other than that, let me know what you think. I'm going to continue trying to kind of sort things out. One thing I do want to add, and I think this is my last point, I'm wrapping this up. Really sorry for such a long video of nothing but me talking. I may not have the room for a peninsula or, a runaround, that kind of thing. If not, what do you guys think? And I know this is obviously isn't prototypical, but if I've got a train going eastbound and say, with 5 cars, and one of them are set to an eastbound siding that it obviously can't get in to drop off the cars, if, say, I took care of all the the sidings that can get in, and pull into the yard, drop what's left, boot it up to the turntable, change direction, boot it back, connect to the other side, and drop it off. Obviously, that's not prototypical, but that may be the way I'm going to have to do it. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep trying. I'd really like to fit one in. Also, I've decided that I'm going to go completely fictional. I think for me, because what matters for me is I want realistic operations, prototypical operations, but I don't care about scenery. I'm going to make scenery, I'm going to make it look good, but I don't want to be, I don't want somebody to come in and be like, well, what's that? And me be like, well, that's supposed to be the Hershey factory. And they'd be like, okay, I don't care about that. I think it would be so much fun to create my own railroad, get over my fears of painting, scratch building, things like that. I'd love to write a history, the backstory, the lore to it. So I think I'm going to go for it and make a fictional railroad. And I'll keep you guys up to date with that too. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really appreciate all constructive criticism and comments and ideas and advice. So please feel free to leave what you can. And if you want to download the picture, I'll put the link again in the description. And even if you want to write on it with some ideas, add some track wherever. And let me know, post it in the comments. That'd be great. Alright, thanks guys. Take care.